You're listening to Golden River Underground Session 2. This is a Delta Green campaign, which is a heavily modified adaptation of Music from a Darkened Room by Dennis Detweiler. Check out Table Talk 1.5 to listen to our pregame commentary, or just dive right into Session 2.
All right, let's game, boys.
Boys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome back. Welcome to Session 2, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to be listening to Broken Timelines by Sumatran Black today.
Listeners, you'll be listening to something entirely different.
Yeah.
Sumatran Black, if you want to let me play your music, just let me know. lateafternoongaming@gmail.com.
Okay, so it is Monday, October 2nd, 1995. Right now, the two of you are standing in the offices of Corvidian Tech. It is 1 p.m., and so you've just jointly investigated Arthur Donnelly's office, and I think you said you were looking to go to his apartment next. Is that correct?
That's right. So we've got a couple leads, and let me just outline what the thought process for Simon Redding is right now.
Yeah, let's get it all out at the beginning.
Yeah, so he's got an apartment, which is his legal residence. Then there's the actual house that he killed himself in, which is not his as far as we know. Then we've got a key, which may be to his apartment, but may be to something else, like a storage container. So we'll see once we get there. And then we also need to call his spouse, who I think we said her name was Sarah.
Correct.
Sarah Donnelly, or Sarah something else probably now. So those are like the main four leads that Simon wants to track down. And he's bringing Tim with him. So, but first they're going to go to his actual residence. Now, admin note, as I've said, I am not a member of law enforcement, so I don't know what the process is for
Okay,
like going to his place. No, not to have you tag along, but like, do I need to put in some request or fill out some paperwork in order to actually go to his go to this residence and gain access? You know what I mean?
I'm also not a law enforcement officer. I'm going to say that was already, like, the paperwork that would give you authorization to do that is already done, and you have, like, this morning before you came to Corvidian Tech, you picked up from the coroner's office his keys, so you can gain access to the apartment.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah. Or I can swing by there because I came straight from waking up to Corvidian Tech.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
So we can swing by the coroner, who had left me that cool message on the phone anyway.
Right.
And yeah, grab his keys, and then I bet even though it's the biggest town in South Dakota, it's still a relatively small town. So we just gotta do the things the way they make sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's not that much procedure here. Hey Tim, are you ready to go?
Yeah, man, let's, we gotta figure out what's going on here. Let's get moving.
Okay. I think this guy actually kind of lived near you. It's a little surprising you guys never, like, hung out together.
He didn't really talk about himself. I honestly didn't know very much about him. But,
weird.
I mean, yeah, now that I think about it, having no idea that he was, like, this close is a bit odd.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get a move on. Or, I guess... Oh, yeah, I'm driving, because I'm driving my work mobile. So we roll on over to...
How drunk are you right now?
I'm actually sober right now.
Wow,
so,
okay.
His hands are shaking.
He's all
right,
over the road.
Uh-huh. Yeah, usually I drive better when I'm a little drunk, so...
So it is...
I drive better when I'm a little drunk.
It is another overcast, drizzly day here. Little colder than yesterday on account of the rain, and just to set the tone here. So you are I guess you're a detective, so are you in an unmarked police car?
Yes.
Okay. What do you drive?
This is like a 89 Buick.
Got it. Okay, so the coroner's office is across the river, pretty close to the new police station, the one where you actually work. And so you cross the northern bridge over the river. You can see that there's some fog over the river. It's kind of, normally you would think it's pretty, but today it just seems bleak. And it's about 10 minutes before you get to the coroner's office. There's a small parking lot out front. It's a pretty small building. There isn't normally much traffic through here. 1 story, just kind of a standard government building. And as you get out of the car, it's just a double glass door at the front. You open it up and walk inside. And they don't have like a reception area or anything. You, Detective Redding, just know where the coroner's office is in here, and so you walk straight down the hall. Mm-hmm. So this is someone you would interface with fairly regularly.
Sure. And I'm suspecting he's like the coroner from Psych.
That's exactly what I was thinking, actually.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. And I know he had left me a message earlier about not finding anything interesting, but I'll walk in the door, and is it easy to find this guy?
Yeah, so his office is about halfway down the hall in this small building as you walk in and go left of the lobby. And his door is cracked open. You can hear the radio on in his office. He's just playing like the local alternative rock station. And he is eating something at his desk, and he looks up as you walk in.
Hey, what's going on, man?
And he stands up, like wipes his hand on his pants, and goes to shake your hand. And he looks at Tim, and just says, "Hi, Elmer Perkins, on the corner. Who are you?"
Hey, I'm Tim. I'm working with Simon on this case.
Yeah, he works over at Corvidian. I'm bringing him on for his expertise on projects that the Vic was working on.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
it seems relevant, or maybe not. I don't know yet.
Sure.
I start sweating.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Listen, I haven't done the autopsy yet. I'm going to get to it later today.
Okay.
But like I said on the phone previously, no reason to suspect anything but suicide here. He doesn't have any of the... nothing that would make me think that it's anything but a suicide. He's got no defensive wounds, and I didn't see anything that would make me think anything other than that he had hung himself. So
yeah. Hey, fair enough. I mean, I at the moment I don't have any suspicions either. So.
Oh.
Sure.
Isn't your job to be suspicious?
Only when there's something to be suspicious of.
Oh.
And since I'm not suspicious, that must mean that there's nothing going on here.
My God.
Case closed.
Okay.
Well, I suppose you want the victim's personal effects.
That's right.
And he opens a desk drawer, and he has like a brown paper bag.
Very official.
Yeah, it's just
Fantastic.
Like in black Sharpie, it has Donnelly written on it.
It's an old Burger King bag. There's still grease stains on it.
There's a self-crown in it.
And
it's an old Breezy's bag.
He looks in it, and he opens it up and kind of thumbs through it and goes, yeah, that's everything. And he passes it to you. And as he does, he says, one wallet, set of car keys with some other stuff on the ring. He had a pocket knife. That's it.
Okay,
Pretty
excellent.
normal.
Sure. No cell phone. How strange.
Well, it's 1995.
Oh, right. Cell phones
It's
haven't
the
been invented
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phones haven't been invented yet.
No carrier pigeon. How strange.
Yeah.
You look at the coroner and he's like Australopithecus.
Right. He's wearing like a plague doctor mask.
Right, exactly. Right, totally normal. That's just what coroners do. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And you do know about the we'll talk about it after the autopsy.
Sure, sounds great.
Yeah.
I'll check it later. Well, when do you think you're gonna get around to doing it?
Yeah, I mean, any minute now, really.
Yeah, okay, excellent. How about I come by tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be fine. I'm usually pretty quick. You'd probably come by later today.
Okay, I guess
it's
we'll do
it's
that.
1 in the afternoon. I'll take.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl,
Okay, fair enough. I'll come back later.
but with the corpses and everything.
I don't know what that means, bro.
I'll see you guys later, though.
Okay. All right, Elmer. I'll check you later. Let's go, Tim.
Does the body still have its pants on, or like? what's
This is his office. You're in like a regular office, not a.
Okay.
His desk is a gurney.
Right.
He has a
not a-
collection of.
It's not a morgue.
He's got a collection of like preserved feet.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
leave
just a
it to
bunch
you,
of
Elmer.
jars full of formaldehyde.
All right, Simon, let's go. Let's
roll.
Let's get moving.
All right. See you later, man. I give him a high five or something. What do people do in the 90s? Did they fist bump yet?
You go for a high five, and he tries to do like a secret handshake thing he saw on TV, but it doesn't quite land. Mm-hmm. And and
classic.
He's like, yeah, cool. I'll see you later.
Yeah. See ya. All right. Let's go. All right. Hop in the car. We're going over to the apartment.
Okay. So you get the address for his apartment. He lives in a building that is not too far away from. Well, actually, it's about halfway between where Simon lives and where Tim lives.
How convenient.
Older building. It's a 6-story building, and it looks like Arthur had an apartment, like a 1-bedroom apartment, up on the 6th floor. So
If he was gonna jump, why not just jump from here?
So you park, and you're able to just walk inside and walk right up to that floor. There's no security that you have to get through before then. It seems
Okay.
like a pretty cheap place.
Interesting. Hey, Tim, any idea how much money your boss is making? More than you, I assume.
I'm presumably more than me.
He should have been
know.
living somewhere nicer than this.
I wonder
Yeah, I
if
mean, I live
the
nicer
divorce
than
didn't
this.
go well.
But yeah, I mean that's possible. Because like my place is nicer than this, and it's not even that expensive.
Right, but you live with all the college kids,
Well,
which is unseemly for a man your age.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just go in. Maybe it's nicer on the inside.
All right, fine. All right, let's go. And I go in. We go up the stairs or whatever. And then,
So you walk up 5 flights of stairs, and
Tim is dying.
And when you get to his floor, you can see that the place it's okay, but it's not nice. The carpet needs to be replaced. Walls look slightly dingy, and some of the lights are out. But yeah, you don't smell anything weird or anything like that as you're walking down the hallway. When you get to Unit 615, which is the one you're looking for, you can see that outside the door, like above his door frame, and off to the side a little ways, unlike any other apartment you've come across, there is a camera installed.
It's the 90s, so it's like a big, ginormous one, right?
Yeah, there's like a hood behind the back, and a powder flash.
Right, exactly.
No, it's not a discrete camera like you would find today. I mean, it's something that has a little arm that's coming out of the wall. That it's a pretty conspicuous security camera with a red recording light on.
Interesting. Hey, Tim, you're like a tech guy, right? You can pretty much do anything that involves electricity.
I can certainly
Right?
try.
Tell me I'm right.
Sure.
So what I'm thinking is, I mean, we haven't even gone to this place yet, but this is the only apartment that has a camera. So I'm guessing it's routing inside the apartment. He's got whatever his security
seems like it
setup
would make
is.
sense, yeah.
So it's let's unlock this bad boy, but just be on the lookout for that, and then I might request your expertise when it comes to figuring out how to get our hands on that security footage.
Now, listeners, in your mind movie that I hope you're watching right now, while they're having this conversation, you're seeing like the fisheye lens. You're seeing the characters through the distorted camera image.
It's like looking through a peephole.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the camera was like moving and pointing at whoever was talking at any given time.
No, but...
And then a little like blow dart gun comes out of it. All right, let's go inside.
Okay.
All right.
So you open the brown paper bag, you pull the keys out, find the one for the apartment, and...
It takes me like 10 tries. There's a lot of keys on here.
Well, it's not just that. There are several deadbolts on this door.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And it's like a big janitor keychain where it's like a 4-inch ring that's covered in keys.
So it does take you a minute to open up all the locks. That's another thing that's odd about this apartment is he has added a lot of locks to his door.
But it's still made of like really flimsy wood. That
Well,
you just
no.
break down very easily.
It seems the paint is slightly different. You wonder if he actually installed his own door here. And he has like a deadbolt that's going up into the frame as well.
I wonder how solid is the frame though.
Are you trying to find out?
No, I'm just trying to unlock the door.
Yeah, so you, after a minute, are able to fully unlock this door. Do you open the door?
I open the door.
You open the door. And when you do, it swings open and you're looking into a modest apartment that is not something that you would characterize as a home.
It's like a base of operations.
Kind of. You immediately you're hit with like a little bit of an odor. There is some spoiled food in here. But not anything like overwhelming. It's like he needs to do the dishes.
Okay, I was gonna say he died yesterday.
Right. No, it seems like he just doesn't clean.
Okay.
So when you walk in, you shut the door behind you, and you're hit right away by just how inhospitable this place is. So it's a fairly small apartment, 1 bedroom, and at the end of the hall that you're walking into, there's the kitchen, and you can see there's just not much in there. He has a cheap drip coffee pot and really no other appliances. The sink is full of dishes that are unwashed, and there are takeout containers and pizza boxes sort of stacked up near the trash can. Looking in the bedroom, he has just a twin-size bed on the floor. And
This sounds like Jack's place IRL.
I know. But otherwise, what you see is gear. Looks like backpacking supplies. So you see backpacks, like tent, tarp, other tools, things like shovels, just sort of piled up on the floor. Shovels, saws, power tools. As you start working your way around the apartment, you open up his closet, and there are clothes in there that don't make sense. So he has sets of coveralls, some of which have like branding for different organizations, like electrical companies and things like that. Some of which have name tags on them as well that are not Arthur. Things like Mike and Steve. All of which seem to fit him. He's got a collection of like baseball caps to match some of these. He has a locker unlocked at the bottom of the closet that is full of ammunition, and he has several unregistered handguns.
Huh.
You see flashlights, tarps, books. He's got stacks of books. He doesn't have a shelf. They're just piled up in the corner of the main room of the apartment. And they're on all kinds of things, but they're skill-related books. So there's like survivalist sort of stuff, books on surveillance, tradecraft, communications technologies, some computer skills sort of books like coding and hacking and things like that. He's got a couple of different phones. No cell phone, but he has like different landline phones, none of which are plugged in.
Hey, Tim. Is this normal for you engineers to have all this kind of gear?
No, this is like, I have no idea what this guy was into. This is nuts.
I hand you a pair of rubber gloves.
Yeah.
And I put on a pair as well.
Okay. Yeah, so this is stuff that so far you've just sort of walked around not touching anything, and you opened the closet door to see what was inside, and then his little locker. But as you start going through cabinets, you find more troubling things, but it's sort of more of the same. Like, one of his drawers is full of fake documents, like fake driver's licenses and passports and stuff like that. There's
what was this guy into?
dude, a lot of prescription medications, many of which are taken out under different names. Mostly pain medication, but he's got some like anti-anxiety and antipsychotic stuff as well.
Nice.
This is bizarre. Hey, Tim, can you look through that pile of books and see if he's gotten anything like written in them?
Yeah, we'll see if he's got anything marked up, I guess.
Yeah, I wanna look for anything that looks like it's like a diary or a log of activities. I want to see if there's something like that around, and then I also want to look around and see if I can find where that security camera is routing to.
Okay. What do you have in search?
I want to say I have 50. I have a 60 in search.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. So you start with the diary. You're looking around for anything that he would have written on, and you turn over the pile of books. You're looking through all the drawers. He doesn't have anything like a bedside table or even a proper desk or table of any kind for that matter, and you don't find anything like that. In fact, you're struck by you see nothing in here that has his handwriting on it.
Okay, I want to search around for like hidden compartments or a hidden safe or anything like that. Like, looking for like spots on the wall with weird paints that looks like there might be hidden behind it. Stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah. So you do that, and again, you very methodically work your way around, tapping, looking, scraping a little bit when you need to. Doesn't turn anything up.
Weird.
But also, I mean, given the amount of illegal shit you've already found in here, that's not that surprising. Like,
sure,
it doesn't seem like he's trying to hide any of this.
I want to go to the point inside the room that's closest to where the camera was on the outside.
Yes. So when you do that, when you turn back, walk to the end of the hall by his front door, you can see the cable bundle coming in close to the ceiling. And there's like a coat closet right next to the door. You open that up, and in addition to coats and raincoats and hunting gear and stuff like that, you can see that he's converted half of the closet into basically a security room. He has a monitor there that he can watch the door, or he can watch the door camera from.
I want to try and
recording, or is it just a live feed?
It is recording. So it's both. He's got a disc in there right now that it's recording to.
A disc. Interesting.
A disc.
Wow.
Yeah. But
what is it? A laser disc?
It's HD DVD.
Oh wow. the one that lost a Blu-ray in like 2007.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's recording to a VHS.
Are there like stacks of old VHSs here, or is
it you would guess that he
it's just wiping and recording over?
Right. He records over the same VHS over and over.
Okay. I want to. Oh well, it's a VHS. It shouldn't be that hard to play then. I want to try to remove the VHS.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just a VCR, so.
Sure.
You have a 90% chance of getting it out.
Sure. So yeah, I want to grab that and put it in like a little bag.
Now, you think you'd be able to play it here?
Okay, then I'll just play it here.
Right. I mean, it's a TV with a VCR, and he's recording to it. So,
I stop recording and then I try to rewind it and play it.
You can stop the recording and play it, and so you see him. It looks like it starts. Let's see, like not yesterday evening, but the evening before.
Okay.
You can see him walk up with a pizza box, put it down, unlock the door, pick the pizza box back up, walk inside. And then that morning, or the following morning, the process reverses. He leaves the apartment, and you know that this is a couple of hours before your golf game. Mm-hmm. And since then, nothing.
Did he have anything with him when he left?
No.
Did he look like he was in a hurry, or is there anything weird about it? Or does he just look like he's leaving?
It's weird in the sense that he looked very cautious. Like when he opens the door and he sticks his head out and looks both ways before fully leaving the apartment.
I mean, he probably does that every day.
And then he doesn't just stand with his back to the hallway and do every lock. Like he'll do one or two locks and then look around and then keep doing them. But other than that, no, there's nothing unusual on the tape.
Okay, well, that's nothing then. I just set it back on the. I don't put it back in the VCR. I just put it on top of the VCR, just to preserve it. But there's nothing. I don't need to like take this with me. Okay, so there's a lot of weird stuff in here, Tim, but not like it's given us more questions, not more answers.
Yeah. Oh, a couple of other items in here that I should have mentioned that I forgot. He's got stuff like he has pretty high-powered binoculars. He has a couple of rifles, although that's not unusual, especially for this area. And he has some things that you're not sure if it's legal. He has like a halogen tool.
Sorry, what's a halogen?
It's a
halogen, potentially.
No. Halogen. A halogen is like a pry bar tool that firefighters use to bust in doors.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the gas, and you were like
halogen,
just like egregiously mispronouncing it.
No.
Okay.
So look up HALLIGAN. And he's got bolt cutters and stuff like that. So stuff that you look at and think like,
oh, I see it. Yeah.
These are like breaking into places tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For unsubtle approaches to breaking in. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, all in all, just a confusing and criminal array of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is weird. All right, well, I don't think we're going to find anything else interesting here. And don't get me wrong, this is interesting. It's just that it doesn't really... It, by itself, doesn't really provide us with anything.
Am I finding anything in the books that's, like, relevant, or is it just exactly what it seemed at first pass of, like, weird skills, but nothing sinister?
I mean, you see indications that these books had been studied.
Okay.
So some of them... it doesn't look like I've seen much use, but many of them, they have creased spines, they have dog-eared pages or bookmarked pages, and so you don't see anything like writing in the margins or highlighting or other stuff that would give you a clearer indication of what he'd been up to. But these were not idle purchases. You get the impression that these were bought and used.
Okay.
And
but there's nothing that makes me jump up and go like, oh my god, he has, a book about kidnapping people or anything like that.
No, I mean the spiciest stuff he has are things like the Anarchist Cookbook.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
And stuff like that. So I mean he does have some publications that are like a little kind of make you raise your eyebrows when you see them beyond just being part of this really weird collection. But no, nothing that seems explicitly illegal in terms of the books. And
then, in response to Simon, I'm not really seeing anything obvious here either. Maybe what we should do is follow up on some other stuff first, and we might get something that contextualizes what we find here. We can come back, dig a bit deeper.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
Because this is what, apartment 615?
615.
Yeah, and the thing that we have is for unit 2230.
Right, yeah, it's
so
or 22 something. 2230 or 2240?
I thought it was 30. I had 30 written down.
2230.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we should go check out whatever that is, and then or maybe get into the house as well, and maybe that'll give us a lead, and then we can be a little more targeted on this. So let's get out of here, lock it up.
I'm thinking we should hit the house first, and I agree, and we're walking out as I say that.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna lock like 2 or 3 of the locks, because I don't want to make it too much harder for me to get back in.
Okay. Yeah, so you fiddle around with the keys again and get the door locked up. Do you leave the camera recording? Or no, you didn't. You left the tape sitting on top of the VCR.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Which is unfortunately, unfortunately, that's evidence of us going in. But I mean, I'm a detective.
We're investigating. What?
Well, you're
evidence
not.
Of you doing your job.
Yeah, that's true. The chief might be interested in seeing that.
I say we're gonna hook that thing back up before we leave.
No, because then if we do that, the tape, if we wipe that tape, then that's evidence.
Well, and let's be clear. You both know that you're already on the tape from coming in.
No. I mean, if we wipe the tape, then we lose the footage of him coming and going.
Are there any spare tapes that we saw in the apartment?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Pop one of those.
Yeah, but they were opened. Like, you had no reason to think that there was anything on them.
Cool. Put one in.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, so you go back in. You're having this conversation as you're locking up. You stop halfway.
5 minutes for us to get in.
Undeadbolt the door, go in, and you break open one of the fresh tapes, put it in, and make sure the system's recording.
Right.
And now it records both of you leaving.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay, so now let's go over to the house on Spooner Ave.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
This is a 15-minute drive. Again, you're back outside, getting drizzled on. And you drive. This time, you head south past the Riverfront Mall and drive across the South Bridge to take you close to the Country Club. And as you're driving down Spooner Ave, you can see that these are nicer, older homes. I mean, you're familiar with the area, but you've never had any reason to spend time looking at the houses themselves other than waiting for your turn to... what do you call it when you're golfing? Waiting for your turn to...
Waiting for your tee time?
No, not your tee time, but like if you're actively playing golf but the other guy is swinging...
Oh, I don't know. You're waiting your turn? I don't know if
well, whatever. You're waiting your turn. So these are like small to medium-sized houses on larger lots with a focus on privacy. So a lot of the houses here have privacy hedges or taller fences. 1206 Spooner Ave is no different. It is it's a white house, 2 stories. It looks like an addition was made to it at some point. Like it's got a garage that probably wasn't original to the house, but it's pretty nice work. Like it doesn't look odd. But if you had to guess, you'd say the house was built, early 1900s. And so you are you parking on the street, or do you want to come into the driveway?
I'll just hit the driveway.
Okay. So yeah, it's got a 1-car garage, it looks like. But you park in front of that on the driveway, and you walk down there's a short path, it's just pavers, up to the front porch.
I do make a note that I want to check who does actually own this place later, because I think I forgot to do that. But yeah, I go to open the door. Is it unlocked?
It is locked. And there's nothing, like there's no crime scene marking or anything.
You know what there is, though, is an open window on the second story.
Are there any other law enforcement people that work in this town, or is it just me?
Well, you haven't noticed any today.
Yeah, and so again, I'm not law enforcement, but I'm pretty sure that like, as a detective, there would be other people who would be like working the scene, and then I show up to figure out like, you know, the more interesting aspects of the crime. I don't have to do like, I'm not the one running the police tape. And
Yeah, as far as you know, that is how it's supposed to work.
yeah, and they're just not doing it.
And yet, you see no indication that has happened here.
Goodness me. Okay. I want to go around the back to see if there's a back door that's open.
Okay. So you walk around the back. The lawn is actually fairly well maintained.
It's probably like a service that goes around the whole neighborhood.
There are signs that it was recently, like the grass had recently gotten pretty long and then was just cut down. You know what I mean? Like the clippings are pretty long. Mm-hmm. So you walk through the side yard to the back of the house, small backyard, and it has a little fountain and with like flowers throughout the backyard. There's not a garden or anything, but there is some decorative plants growing back here. There's a patio and then a back door. It is also locked.
Okay, well, at least here I probably won't get spied on. So I have a lockpick set.
Okay.
Nice. Do it.
Yep, lockpick kit. So I'm gonna try to get into the back door, which I feel like should be pretty easy, especially since I got time and no one's looking.
You know what? I'm gonna do your favorite thing. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, give me an intelligence check. Okay. I got 55 intelligence. That's a 43.
Okay.
Ooh.
I rolled that using my wormwood dice and my spalted dolphin.
Don't say that on here.
It's not an advertisement.
Oh, okay. So it occurs to you that there are keys on Donnelly's key ring that you haven't checked out.
Oh, that's true. I'm going to try some of these keys.
Okay. Yeah, you go to get your lockpick set and you think, well, hold on, let me try some of those other keys.
Yeah. I have a brain blast.
And one of them opens the back door.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, Tim, we're in.
Nice.
I picked the lock with this, and I hold up the key.
I put the key. Yeah, well done.
Impressive. All right, so yeah, let's go in.
Okay.
So after seeing what we saw in the apartment, Tim is on like, he's like, man, are we gonna see like tripwires in here? Like, what's the deal? Why was this guy breaking into a house?
Well, so you open the door and you walk into.
Well, he had the keys. He didn't break into this.
That's true. Yeah.
You walk into like a den, kind of a central room, and you can see that this house is not furnished.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, yeah, nobody lives here. Apparently.
So there are a few, like scattered pieces of furniture, some of which have sheets or plastic sheeting draped over them. But for the most part, the house appears to be empty, just based on you looking in through the door.
Yeah, it's like Wayne Manor for a while, you know. Okay, yeah. So I want to go. I want to beeline kind of upstairs to the room where he jumped.
Okay, well, before you just take off into the house, as you open it up, both of you feel uneasy. There's something about the house.
I feel uneasy.
I mean, sure, it's dark outside, or it's overcast anyway, but inside, there's something about it just seems like creepy to you. Just makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
This place gives me the Ghiblies.
Far too many banyan roots for my liking.
Oh my god.
So you walk, because you came in the back door, you walk into the den. It looks like it's probably the largest room in the house. And it does have a pretty big fireplace in it. There are exits from this room that lead to the foyer, the back porch that you came from, the breakfast nook, and a hallway that goes to 3 different bedrooms. That's about it.
All right, let's, do you want to, like, split up, or I can cover one floor, you cover the other floor?
You know what? Sure. I'll go upstairs.
Okay, yeah, cool. I'll start sweeping down here. I'm guessing if there's not much furniture, there's probably not that many places to hide things, so...
Yeah, I mean, there are cabinets and closets and things like that,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna look in the
comparatively
cabinets.
few.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look in the fireplace, see if there's anything like hidden.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll handle Redding first.
Okay.
Okay. I walk up the stairs and it should be pretty easy to figure out which room he jumped from.
You walk upstairs, and what you see it's not a bedroom, it's like a sitting room kind of place. It's got windows that go all the way around and recessed window benches.
Okay.
So there are small boxes scattered around the room, an old rocking chair, and some like DIY house repair supplies. The ceiling slopes pretty severely on the sides, and you're a tall guy, so you have to duck in here. In some spots, you find it kind of frustrating to get around in.
Okay, so this feels almost more like an attic than like a regular upstairs room.
Almost. Like, it's not that... I mean, it's not unfinished, like it's meant to be occupied, but it's pretty Spartan. And one of the windows is broken, of course, the window that is facing the front of the house. The benches, the like recessed window benches, have those sort of globe-shaped like knob things where you would put your hands. And one of those has the other end of the rope tied around it.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to ask what the rope might have been affixed.
Yes. There is like a little bit of an odor in here. It smells a bit like paint and something a little more subtle, some kind of maybe spice, you're not sure.
Interesting. I'm curious if, again, there's something like hidden in the walls and it was painted over.
Well,
so
as you turn and you're looking at different things, you hear a creaking, and when you look over, the rocking chair is moving.
Yeah, the window's, open, right? So the wind's blowing. It's no big deal.
It's probably a draft, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like my mind corrects, and it's like, yeah, I just felt a draft for sure. Mm-hmm. So it barely even registers with me because my brain autocorrects to, make up for the dissonance. That's what I assume happens.
Sure.
And I go, weird. Or not weird at all, drafty. A little drafty in here. So I want to go around and like tap the walls and see if like there's any points that sound weird and like something got painted over. Like there's a wall safe hidden. I'm always on the lookout for these things.
Yeah, like there's a painting of a bowl of fruit.
Exactly. And the eyes on it keep moving.
Yeah, you tap around and nothing jumps out at you as being like a little concealed compartment or anything like that.
Just so it doesn't surprise me again, I'm going to take the rocking chair and like lay it down on the ground so it doesn't rock anymore.
Oh, like lay it on its side?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So as you do this, initially you encounter some resistance.
This
Which
chair's kind of heavy.
seems strange. That resistance abruptly ceases, and as you're going to lay it down on your side, it sounds like you hear the creaking of floorboards, almost as if someone has gotten up and walked out of the room.
Must be Tim walking around downstairs.
Excellent.
I shrug and lay the chair down. This house makes a lot of noise. That's these old houses for you. Okay. And so I don't really find anything interesting in it. And the boxes, you said it's just like DIY home repair stuff?
Yeah, you don't see anything there that's interesting. It all
It's like spackle and...
Right, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Weird. There's nothing I can see from the window that's odd.
No, I mean, you look out of the broken window and it looks out onto the golf course over the privacy hedges.
Okay.
Nothing jumps out at you as being unusual.
Okay. I'm not given to ghost stories. I'm not that kind of guy. It's the 90s,
Not that you have any reason to be thinking about ghosts right now.
I don't, but the sound was a little weird, and so I kind of want to walk out of the room and see if I hear anything or like go where see if I can follow where Tim is walking around downstairs, because that's what that noise really was. But I just want to see what's going on.
Yes. And standing still, listening, you can hear cabinets opening and shutting, closet doors opening and shutting, and footsteps downstairs. So Tim is clearly not idly waiting for you.
Sure.
There's no doubt that this is an old house with personality.
Sure. Yeah.
And so you do walk to the door frame that will take you down the stairs, and it makes the same kind of creaking sounds that you heard before.
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
As you walk towards, as if you're headed back down the stairs, it makes the same footstep creaking sounds that you had heard when you were initially interacting with the chair.
Okay, and where does it sound like they're going?
Well, no, I mean, you're listening to your own footsteps now. You'd said something along the lines of you wanted to take those steps to see what it sounded like, and it sounded like the thing you already heard.
Okay, so I'm starting to think, hang on, what's going on? Is there something under the floorboards, or what is this? So, where did it sound like the footsteps had gone before? Did they go down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to follow them.
So you didn't hear creaking on the stairs, though. You just heard footsteps,
leaving the room that I was in.
Leaving the room, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So I couldn't tell where they had gone after that.
Correct.
Because I wasn't paying enough attention.
But there's only one way to go, you would think.
Okay, then I want to go that way, which is down the stairs.
Okay. And you do. And the stairs are pretty noisy. Mm-hmm. And eventually you arrive downstairs and find Tim. And so we'll switch over to you. So, Tim, Simon has just headed upstairs to where, to the room where presumably Arthur flung himself out. Mm-hmm. And you get started with your search. So what exactly are you doing?
Any furniture that I see that has compartments in it, I'm looking in it, and I'm also looking behind it. So, if there's a cabinet, and I'll open every drawer, look in the drawer, kind of feel along the top to see if there's anything stuck to the top. Look behind it, look under it.
Okay. So there are a fair amount of rooms in this house. None of them are very big. The den is the biggest, but you'll start by just sort of surveying it, just walking around to see what's here, what's even available to be searched. And it looks like there are 4 bedrooms. There's a master bathroom, and then one other bathroom, the adjoining garage, and then a kitchen and a breakfast nook and miscellaneous closets, and a dining room. And you don't see any furniture beyond the occasional chair in the bedrooms or the dining room or anything like that. It looks like the place has been pretty fully evacuated of furniture. You open the door to the garage and see that there are a couple of items out there that do have sheets over them, like I said previously. But the bathrooms, they do have cabinets, and both under the sink and medicine cabinets, and the kitchen and some of the closet stuff. There's things to check there. So as you go through, you find pretty typical empty house sort of stuff. You know what I mean? More stuff like trash bags, paint old cans of paint that match the paint that's on the walls. Just miscellaneous home care supplies.
Okay.
In boxes, you thumb through these. Nothing really jumps out at you. So at one point, you hear Simon calling for you in the kitchen.
Okay. I guess I'll wander over.
And when you get there, Simon's not in there.
Oh. Can I is it obvious from footstep sounds or whatever that he's upstairs? Can
yes.
I hear somebody? Oh,
or, I mean, you hear footsteps upstairs anyway.
I look around to see, so he must have come down here and then gone back up, I guess, or maybe it just sounded like he was in here and he was actually calling from upstairs.
Maybe, yeah. You try to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, rationalize it.
Seems odd, but you kind of shake out of it.
Okay. I guess I'll just keep looking. I'm gonna go just to be sure. I'm gonna look in that fireplace as well.
Okay. The fireplace has been cleaned out, so there is a grate at the bottom. But there's no logs, there's no debris of any kind.
Ah, that's too bad. You very specifically mentioned the fireplace, and I was so confident that there was going to be something in here.
It's very grand.
Yes. Okay. Never mind then. So at this point, is there anything significant on the ground floor that I haven't looked at? What was this? You said in the garage there was stuff covered in sheets. What's under the sheets?
Okay, yeah. So you go down there in the garage. It's a, it's a cement slab floor, mostly empty except for these couple of items in there. It looks like there are a couple of more chairs that are stacked up near the wall. Just wooden chairs that maybe were part of a dining room set. You're not sure. But then there are two largish furniture items. You pull up a sheet from one, and it is an armoire. So looks like it's made of oak. It's stained. It's a deep brown color, and it has a mirrored front. The mirror is actually in pretty good shape.
Okay. I guess I'll look around in it. Like, is there anything inside the armoire?
So it's pretty big. Looking inside, there's a rack at the top where you could hang things from, but the armoire itself is empty.
Okay.
Now, what are you doing to check it out? Are you just like opening it up and looking?
I don't think I would have a whole lot of reason to do. I'm gonna go all the way around it. If this thing's like, is it up against the wall, or can I 360 this thing?
It is far enough away from the wall that you can get around it.
Okay, yeah, I'm giving it I'm looking at it from every angle I can, but I'm not like, shining black lights on it or anything. I don't have any reason to believe that there's a need to.
Yeah, it's a nice armoire. Okay. Doesn't seem like there's much to it.
Yeah, and you said the mirror's in good condition as well.
Yes.
Is it obvious to me why this would have been, if this place is largely cleared out and then there's this nice oak armoire, like, is there any reason I can see just looking at it why it would have been left behind?
No. In fact, it does seem unusual to you.
Okay. So there's nothing in it. There's nothing wonky with the mirror. Okay. I'll flag that for later review. We'll discuss it with Simon, I guess. We'll see if he has any takes on it. Let me go look at other things under tarps.
Okay. There's only one other piece, and it is an end table.
Okay. Does it look like it matches the armoire?
No. Let's see. Hold on a second. So unlike the armoire that was just stained oak, the end table is considerably more decorative. The edges are painted with enamel, and it's not plain. There are these complex, like geometric designs painted onto it.
Okay.
So you take a close look at this, and the designs actually depict people dancing. And there's a sort of common theme, because it's a complicated theme, or it's a complicated bit of artwork, but there's a theme throughout that there is all of the dancers are alike except for one. There is a tall man with jet black skin and sort of a nondescript face, or by nondescript I should say there doesn't appear to be a face.
Oh, it's featureless.
Yes. Like the other dancers have, kind of expressive faces, and the jet black figure has no discernible facial features.
Okay. Other than that, is it doing the same thing as the other figures, and it looks unusual, or is it also like doing something unusual?
He appears to be leading the dance. the top of the table, like the central sort of pattern on it, is a triple spiral design. It's like, there's a central point, and then there are 3 spirals radiating out from it. How closely are you? Like, I imagine you're spending time studying this pattern.
It would have been a cursory glance until I saw the extremely intricate dancing people artwork, and that would have driven me to like, oh, maybe I should now I'm looking to see if there's any other artwork hidden on the thing, so I'm looking pretty close at everything.
Okay, and you said your search is pretty low, right?
My search is the default, which is 20%. Shall I roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for me.
You good? Okay, so let's see here. Ugh, yeah, 46, that's a fail.
Okay, what about art? Do you have anything in art?
Nope, 0%.
Okay.
Let's see, let me see if I have anything that's even a little bit related. I don't think I do.
What's your heavy weapons score?
Yeah.
My heavy machinery is 70%. Yeah, I have nothing that would be relevant to examining a piece of furniture.
Okay.
What about occult? What is occult?
Got the default 10.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. You've never seen anything like it. Interesting.
Okay. And you said those are the only 2 things in the garage.
Right. It's those 2 things in the stack of chairs.
And is there anything unusual?
They all start
about the
rocking
chairs?
furiously.
Sorry, say that again.
Is there anything unusual about the chairs, or are they just chairs?
They're just chairs, or they appear to be.
Do they look like they match either of the pieces of furniture?
No, not really.
Okay.
But there is a tall man with a featureless face sitting in one of them.
Yeah. Okay. So, does you said it was it wasn't a bedside table. What did you say the dancing people thing was? Or was it the bedside table? End table.
Yeah,
Does it have any any drawers or anything, any storage in it?
It's interesting. I mean, it looks. It looks like it should.
I knock on it to see if it's hollow.
It is hollow.
Okay, I'm gonna take a much closer look at it to see if I can if there's a point of ingress.
Okay. So looking around the outside of it, there doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
I mean, it's weird because it has solid walls, and you would think something like that would have drawers or a cabinet, but it doesn't appear to.
Okay, and I'm looking from below as well.
So are you tipping it on its side?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Yeah, the bottom is much lower than it should be, given that it doesn't appear to have drawers or cabinets.
But there's nothing on the bottom that I can open it from here.
No, it doesn't appear to. So
okay,
now
I'm
that
just
you're
start getting handsy with this thing and see if there's any moving parts that I can find.
Yes. Okay. So looking at the top of it again, you're running your hands all over this thing, and looking at the top, you notice that the art, the patterns, are slightly misaligned at the seams of the boards that compose the top of the table.
Oh, so it looks like they might move.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, I am going to gently try to manipulate them.
Are you using a tool for this, or are you just using your hands?
I don't think I have any tools. My hands will be a little grippier than normal because I've got gloves on. But I don't think I'm. Yeah,
okay,
I wouldn't have
give
anything
me a luck
on me.
check.
Luck check. Okay. Are we doing
About
this?
to take 2d10 damage.
What's the policy on luck checks again? What are we doing?
I do it just roll whatever die you like. Odds you win. Evens I win.
Right. Odds in your favor. I got a 7. It was a D8.
Okay. So you've got these latex gloves on. It's pretty grippy, and you're trying to see if you can pry one of these boards up, and you are successful. It's not fast, but you manage to get one up, and it reveals a cavity beneath the top of the table.
Okay.
So, what you see looking inside are 3 objects that are lashed down to the bottom with rotting leather ropes.
Okay.
There is a knife. It's a bronze knife. It looks small. And it's somewhat like the whole thing is bronze. It seems just sort of weird and decorative almost. There's a bowl, also made of bronze, and it's marked by that same triple spiral design that you saw, like on the top of the table. It also seems to be full of, or like the interior of the bowl seems to be stained with what looks like dirt.
It's a little coppery, it's a little irony,
Yeah.
but it looks a little like dirt.
Then there's also a book.
Oh, okay. So before I break into this stuff, I'm like, okay, this is a find. I'm gonna go get Simon.
Okay.
So I think I hear him heading down the stairs, so I'm gonna go
check
meet
the
him
kitchen.
there.
I think he was calling you from there.
Yeah. So I think I hear Simon coming down the stairs, and I'm gonna meet him at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys regroup at this point.
Hey, did you come back down at any point, or was this your first time back down?
No, I was up there the whole time.
Did you call my name at any point? I thought I heard you call me from the kitchen, which didn't make sense to me.
No, I don't think so. Maybe
Weird.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't
I
think
found
so.
something. Check. Come over to the garage. Check this out.
Okay, I found nothing.
Well,
Except that this house has weird acoustics.
well, yeah. I guess we both ran into that. But this is well. Here, I'll show you. We go back to the garage. So this
that is weird.
end table was hollow. I managed
Right.
to get an end up. You got this. By the way, you should probably give the once we're done with this stuff, give the armoire a once over. I didn't see anything weird with that, but I kind of want to see what's in this book.
Okay.
So,
let's
check
go
out
ahead and do
check out
that
the
first.
armoire real quick. I'm gonna open up this book, and then we'll see if you find anything and if I find anything.
Okay, I'll check out the armoire. All right, I want to go check out the armoire.
Okay. So you also before Tim had been peeling back the sheet to look. Simon, I imagine, just rips the sheet off
Right.
and dumps it on the floor. So again, it's an oak armoire. It's in good shape. It's got a nice mirror on the front. You open it up.
nice.
It's empty. No strange markings or anything like that as you walk around it. What else do you want to do?
Is there like space underneath it? Like, I don't know.
I mean, there's a small space, like it has 4 feet. But you look underneath there and there's nothing.
Okay. Yeah, nah, there's nothing to this thing. What's in the book?
What is in the book? I've opened
So
it.
you reach in and you untie it and you pull it out?
Oh, right, yeah, because of the rotting straps. Yeah, I'm going to be as gentle as possible, because if the straps are rotting, presumably this stuff's been in for a while, it might be fragile, but I am going to extract it.
Okay. So it is a small book, like the, about the size of like a pocket Bible.
Okay.
Like a James Patterson novel-sized book.
And it's, as soon as you open it up, you can see that it's a diary filled cover to cover, with a very cramped, difficult but not impossible to read cursive.
Okay. So it is in English then.
It is in English.
That's helpful.
But it's it takes you a while to figure out what's being said, and this is going to take you hours, if not longer, to digest. It's really tough to get an idea of what's in it at a glance because of the way that it's written.
Just off the top of a couple of sentences that I can make out initially, does it seem like it was just like the phrasing? Does it seem modern, or is this like this was written, decades ago kind of thing?
Decades ago.
Okay.
There's actually a date at the beginning. It looks like it starts sometime in 1927.
Ooh, okay, cool. Is there a name as well, or is it just kind of I'll have to read it to figure out?
Isabel Wheeler.
Isabel Wheeler. Okay. And does that strike me as familiar at all? I imagine it doesn't.
No.
Is that Wheeler?
Correct.
Okay. Hey, Yugi. Okay, so we've got the diary. You said it's cover to cover?
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, this is something we're going to want to look at in detail, but right now what I want to do is go to the very last page and see if I can interpret that and see if there's anything, like, crazy at the end.
She is complaining about her deteriorating health.
Oh, okay.
I think she doesn't have a lot of time left.
Okay, so I'll have to actually dig into the details to contextualize that, I guess.
Yes.
All right, so...
And those that last entry is dated sometime in the middle of 1955.
Oh, okay. So even at the end, this is a ways back.
Yeah.
All right. I will put the book aside for now and take out the knife and bowl. Or I guess I'll take out the knife and just kind of roll it over in my hands, examine it.
And I'm pulling out evidence bags from my field forensic kit that I'm going to put all this stuff in.
I'll hand you the book then.
Okay. Yeah. Now the book is leather bound book. It's got those very thin gold edged pages. The bowl and the knife are both heavy because they're solid metal. And you're able to bag each of those. Other than that triple spiral marking on the bowl, they're both simultaneously exotic looking just because they're metal, but they're also kind of plain in the sense that they're unadorned.
Okay. Yeah, do you think you'd be able to, like, you're a detective, you can probably get, like, chemistry tests done on things, right? We should try to figure out what this powder stuff is.
So, Simon, when you see this, you think, like right away, you think that's what old blood looks like.
Hey, that's old blood.
Ooh, that's probably not good.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's 1995, so, and we're a small town in South Dakota. The odds of us being able to actually get anything done with this blood is slim to none, but it is interesting that it's there at all.
Yeah. Okay. Then it seems like the most useful thing we're finding here is this diary.
The dairy, as it were.
Dairy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get some scans made of this thing before I lock it up as evidence.
Yeah. Hit me up with those scans, and I can read through it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This might actually be. What time is it? It's probably like 4 PM or something.
Yeah.
What time does the library close around here on a Monday? Probably should still be open for a while, right?
Yeah, 6:00.
Okay. I want to see. I think we should head over to the library and see if we can. Or you should head over to the library and look up some newspapers of that lady you were talking about.
Yeah, Isabel.
Yeah, see if there's anything in the Golden River Sentinel, or whatever the newspaper is, and see if there's anything interesting about her life and times of Isabel Wheeler. And then I'm gonna go back to the precinct and make some scans of this diary.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Make sure you get me copies of the diary. I want to read it over too. But yeah, for now, I can go look at, see what I can find on Isabel.
Sure. And it'll be pretty late once we do that. So why don't we just meet up again tomorrow?
Meet up where?
Meet up where? I don't know. Come to the precinct.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
Call your, I guess you don't have a boss anymore, but whoever your supervisor is now, just tell them that I've requested your assistance with Arthur or whatever, and they should let you not work.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I can just so we're telling the organization then that I'm attached to this case.
Yeah, we're telling your organization that. I don't think the precinct would be very happy with me if I told them that.
Okay, well.
So as long as they don't talk to each other, there shouldn't be an issue.
I'm sure that won't bite us in the ass. All right, sounds like a plan. out of character, I'm desperately trying to think of an excuse to stare at this mirror for a while, because I suspect things will happen if we do.
Tim, quit looking at that mirror. We have to go.
Tim's not vain enough to like strike a pose in front of it, but
Tim, there's no time.
yeah. All right, we'll leave
Library's
that
gonna close
for another day, I guess.
Okay.
Tim says, "Wow, I really need an armoire."
No, you don't. You don't have space in your tiny apartment.
Yeah, that's true. All right, yeah. So file that away. I'm sure we'll be back to investigate this house again.
Yeah. So here, meet me at the precinct at 9 tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But I'll drop you off at the library.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. 9 tomorrow. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. And with that,
why don't you? Hey, tell you what. Why don't you drop me off at my office, and then I'll take my bike to the library.
okay, fine.
Because it's still there and in excellent condition because nobody ran into it.
No doubt. It's possible that somebody ran into it after we left.
Yeah, what are the odds? Okay, yeah. Drive me back to the office, and then I can get my way from there.
Okay. So we're going to make our escape from the house, lock up, and get back in the car, unless something happens in the meantime.
Okay. You leave the house, you lock up,
No.
and you're able to do exactly what you just said without incident.
Oh, I thought the Slender Man was going to chase us.
Yeah. We didn't look in the mirror enough.
That's true.
I'm telling you, man. It's something.
Okay, so yeah, I drop him off, and then I head over to O'Shamrock's first to get a drink before I head to the office.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm feeling a bit thirsty, and I could I'm feeling a bit thirsty.
Yeah, so Monday at like 4:40, O'Shamrock's is not that bumping.
Not yet. But the party just arrived.
Right. Yeah, and it looks like Tim too is getting ready for just a regular night. He's getting his glassware organized at the bar when you walk in.
I forgot about Tim, the bartender.
Yeah, bartender. Hey, can I get a triple of Jameson? I'm in a hurry.
No, your credit card was declined last night.
Oh, are you for real? Why didn't you tell me?
I did tell you. Check your messages.
All right. I fish out. How much do I owe you?
And he looks at. He says, "How much you got?"
I got $30.
Well, you owe me 50.
Damn. You got an ATM?
He says, "You realize you ordered 7 beers yesterday, right?"
Well, yeah. You guys charge outrageous prices.
At the time, what's 1995 beer prices?
It's I
like
think a
a
nickel
1
for a
penny
beer.
beer.
It's a nickel for a pint of warm ale.
Right, exactly.
At this tavern.
It's 1 shilling.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I give him $50.
And
can I get that credit card back? It should have been good.
he takes that money and puts it right in his shirt pocket.
Not in the till.
And says, "That's a start."
No, that's what you said I owed you. That's the end.
Today. For now.
Can I get that credit card back? Oh my god. Can I get my credit card back, please?
He says, "Sure, but it doesn't work."
Yeah, fine.
He takes it out and throws it at you.
Okay, and then I lay down another 20 on the counter and I say, all right, now give me that triple of Jameson.
And he brings out, it's 3 shots of Jameson that he puts in a smaller triangle.
That's not a triple. That's 3 singles.
Pool triangle, and then he moves that towards you.
All right, whatever. And I slam all 3, and then I say, I'll see you later.
He salutes you.
Wow.
And then
it's sloppy though.
Relationship.
He does it with his left hand.
I was gonna say it's probably a left-handed salute.
Yeah.
I give him a curt half up nod, and then I leave. I get back in my car and drive back to work.
A half up nod.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's the up half of a nod.
Yeah. So yeah, you get back in your car. You're headed to the station. It's like across the street. So
it's not that far. Yeah.
You park your car at the station, get out, walk in. What are you up to?
So first, I want to register that I've got this evidence from the Spooner house.
Okay.
and like, you know, have it annotated as such by whoever like the desk sergeant is or whatever. Again, I'm not a cop. I don't know how this works, but that sounds
Sure.
about
Yeah,
right.
I imagine you have this stuff in the bags, and you're going to take it to the evidence room. There's going to be like a clerk on duty that helps you process it. You fill out some paperwork, and they put it in a box for you and lock it up, basically.
Right, and I don't want to lock up the book yet because I want to scan it.
Right, but you still check it in. You basically check it in and have it signed out to you.
Right, I register it, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some scans. So I assume we've got something that's gonna help me scan.
Yeah.
You have scribes that will.
Yeah, yeah. Write this down.
It's the 90s.
It's the 90s, so yeah, I fax it to myself or something. I don't know. So yeah, I assume I can do that. How many pages are in this thing?
Looks like about 250.
Okay, so it's probably going to take me a little bit to scan it.
No, I mean, you're able to scan 2 pages at a time.
Sure. It's still going to take me a while.
But it's 250 front and back, so.
Does the chief ever walk by while I'm doing this? Is he in today?
He does, actually, and he pushes you into the scanner, and it fucks up one of your scans.
Hey, chief, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, that report was shit.
What did you want? That was my initial report.
Yeah, I just thought it was boring, that's all.
Okay, sorry, chief. I'll make it more exciting next time.
Yeah. And you could see on his way into his office, there's another cop that has like a folder in front of him, and the chief violently slaps the folder out of his hands onto the ground and then laughs and walks into his office and slams the door.
This guy's such a bully.
This chief is amazing. I love him.
It's somewhat heartening to see that he doesn't just treat me badly. Like it no longer feels quite so personal, which is you know, on the one hand that feels a little dehumanizing. On the other hand, it feels kind of good. It gives me a sense of
it's a connection that you thought you had that maybe you don't.
Yeah, you're
right.
not
That's
special.
what I'm saying. Yeah, and I'm like, I feel a sense of brotherhood with the cop whose stuff he just slapped out of his hand, but then that guy gives me like this look of disgust.
Right, as he walks
way.
by you, he also bumps you into the scanner, and you go, "Fuck that guy."
It's just like that scene on Nar Shaddaa with Kreia, where one harm is visited upon another in sequence. Truly a horrifying workplace. Okay, so I'm scanning, and then when I'm eventually done with that, and I've got my 2 copies, one for me, one for Tim, I want to.
Unfortunately, your machine, that means you have to scan everything twice. The settings.
I can't just make a copy of the first scan.
No, because it comes out looking all fucked up, and you don't really understand the settings very well.
Oh yeah, I'm like slapping it, like if only my heavy machinery skill was a little better.
Right.
If only Tim was here.
Right. I've got a 40 in bureaucracy, and this feels very bureaucratic to me.
I'm glad we're both so stacked on bureaucracy.
That's an automatic one with being a detective or
I guess that
police
makes sense,
officer. Yeah. Okay, and then eventually, whenever I'm done with that, I want to see if I can find any like police report history on the Wheeler house or on the Spooner Ave house.
Yeah. Okay. So, like before, this entails you going into a few different databases. I imagine you're looking at, well, you have to look at a combination of like digital databasing, and then you know that this would probably entail following up with paper records that were never digitized, but in some cases, those, at least the titles of those records, are indexed in a digital system. You know what I mean? So, like, you know they exist, you just can't look at them.
Sure, it just gives me an avenue of where to find it then.
Right. And you know from experience that probably anything you need that hasn't been digitized is going to be at the town hall, which is where the county records are kept.
Sure.
So you're looking at things like zoning permits, records of sale for the home, tax documents, things like that are going to indicate ownership and alterations made to the house, those sorts of things, as well as what you initially said, which was like police reports that are associated.
Yeah, and who owns it? I want to know that.
Right, so the tax stuff is going to give you ownership. The police reports are going to be more descriptive of incidents.
Right, exactly.
Unfortunately, like, you know that just your indexing systems aren't always that consistent. So you being like, you're not anal about a lot of things, but you are anal about like good police work.
Sure. Like I said, I'm a lousy guy. I'm not a lousy detective.
Right. And so you know that you generally want to try to check something a few different ways because the archiving and indexing system is not consistent or complete. So you're looking at 1206 Spooner Ave, and what you determine... let's see. Hold on, I gotta check my notes here. So the house was built in 1907 by Michael Wheeler. And him and his wife, Isabel, moved into it. They owned the house for quite a while. So they owned the house through 1955. Michael Wheeler died like a few decades prior to that, and the house belonged to Isabel, his wife. She died in 1955. The house was then sold to George and Margaret Crease. They owned it until 1960. So in 1960, George shot his wife Margaret and then hung himself in the house.
Hanged himself.
Hanged himself. 1960 to 1963, a man named Michael Doherty owned the house. He also died there, cause of death unknown, but not a homicide. Or not ruled a homicide. 1963 to 1966, Adam and Rebecca Ture and their family, they had 2 young children, lived in the house. It looks like their son, Anton Ture, drowned in the house, and they sold it afterwards. 1967 and 1971, Jonathan Reese owned the house and sold it apparently without incident. 1972, Dr. George Weaver hadn't been living there for very long before he died in some kind of freak electrical accident. 72 to 77, Thomas and Imogen Greeley and their family. Again, they left without incident. 78 to 85, Peter Diaz, suicide, hanging. 85, Gareth Gedjos. It's not clear whether or not he ever actually moved in, and he sold the house in 86. 86 to 88, Jason and Janine Aiken. They moved in and then moved out in 88. They had complaints about the house, and they had, there are reports indicating that several times they had called the police because they thought someone was in the house. Police never found anything. But ultimately they left and moved away. 89 to 94, someone named John Tyler lived there, and he died of unknown causes in the house, not ruled a homicide. And the house sat vacant for some time until September of 1995, when it was bought by Arthur Donnelly.
Okay, so he actually did own the place.
So... interesting.
Yeah. So this has got me thinking. So I'm a local boy. Like, with a house like that doesn't happen. Like, someone kills himself in a house and there's local legends about it, especially in like the mid 20th century. So there's got to be like local legends associated with this house at this point when this many people have died in it.
I mean, looking at it now, like having it all in front of you, you think there probably are, at least in that neighborhood. But you don't remember hearing anything like that?
That's crazy. I make a note that that's something I want to ask around in that neighborhood or something of, or something, because there's no way that many people die in a house and that it just goes unremarked upon by like the populace. There's got to be ghost stories about it. Yeah,
and again, you think there probably are. You're just not a very sociable guy.
Right, but I grew up here. Like, I would have heard it on the playground, is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
All right, but obviously I didn't, so... all right, weird, but okay. let's see. So I've got the like police reports and the ownership stuff. Are there any records of modifications being made to the home?
Yes. So, Dr. George Weaver, the guy that died in the electrical accident, this is in 1972. It looks like he did some pretty significant work. He added on a master bedroom. So he sort of like extended the northeastern corner of the house, and he also added the garage.
Okay. And then what I'm doing is I'm noting down the names of the people that I think there was a group that left in '88 that left without incident, but they had made police reports or called 911
Jason
or something.
and Janine Aiken.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm making a note of their names because I want to look them up and see if I can get in contact with them and get some details.
Sure. Yeah,
I'll have to pull that later, but I just write their names down.
Sounds good.
I'll have to open up a phone book and see if they're still around.
Wow.
And otherwise, I'm sure I'll be able to figure out how to get in touch with them. But I think that's pretty much it. Which they're probably trying to lock up over at Town Hall anyway, or City Hall, or wherever I'm at. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna head back over to O'Shamrock's and get some dinner, aka more whatever our version. I said Jameson earlier, but our version of whatever the popular Irish whiskey is.
Jackson,
that's right. Yeah, I'll get some Jackson, some Jameson, and then I'm gonna eat a Hot Pocket, and go to bed.
Okay. Yeah, so for a while you've been trying to convince Tim to heat up the Hot Pockets that you buy at the grocery store at O'Shamrock's.
You've got a microwave. I know you do.
And he has pretty steadily refused you and pushed you to buy the food that they have on the menu, which is very overpriced.
Dog, I know the health inspector. I know he's not going to have a problem with this. Stop using that as an excuse.
It's
and just heat up my Hot
1985,
Pocket.
so or 1995. He's trying to charge you like $3 to get a cheeseburger.
$3 for a cheeseburger. What do I look like?
And that's insane.
Come on. That's ridiculous. Back in my day, you could get a bus to another city, watch 5 movies, and buy a home for 3 pennies.
He shrugs his shoulders
3
and just
pennies,
says,
that is.
"Hey, it's the economy."
It's the 90s. The economy's doing great. Thanks to Bill Clinton, our current president.
Says, Tim's a big Austrian school guy.
Well, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to go home and eat my Hot Pocket there.
He looks at you and he says, "I don't believe in fiat currency, and
You better
need
believe
to
it.
get
It's
your
real.
credit card straightened out, or you're going to be paying cash."
he says the blockchain is the way of the future.
Right. Tim is way ahead of the game. You can see that he's sketching. He's already got pictures of Shiba Inus.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bored-looking apes on the wall.
Right.
I'm like, what is this?
I think this will be worth something someday. He's drawing
this art
like a
sucks.
cartoon monkey.
Yeah, it's got a sailor hat and a corncob pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, your art sucks, Tim, and it's not Irish at all. Anyway,
He is wearing a shirt that says "Kiss Me, I'm Irish."
I refuse. I slap another 20 on the table. I say, fine, I'll just pay cash from now on. I've got a lot of money in Enron right now, and they're doing pretty well. So, and I don't spend my money on a lot of other stuff, so I've got plenty of booze money.
Everything you got pumping in Enron.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I've got another, I don't know it yet, but I've got another 5 or 6 years before that goes belly up. So I'll be doing fine for the next couple of years.
Actually, that's
Anyway,
the main
yeah.
port of departure for my universe is Enron. It does fine.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It's the greatest success story of the early 21st century.
Yeah.
I'm trading on weather futures.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you go home and you eat your Hot Pockets.
Yeah, and
What flavor tonight? Is it still pepperoni pizza?
I only buy the pepperoni pizza one. It's got all the vitamins and minerals I need.
Nice.
And I'll watch some TV. I don't know what's on. The Jeffersons. I don't know what TV was on. I watched some Friends, and I don't think it's very funny, but it seems like people
Friends
aren't.
You
In
watch-
'95.
You could watch some Buffy. You could watch some X-Files.
Oh, yeah, I watched some X-Files. Yeah, Friends started in 94.
Okay.
But it was 94 to 2004, so it probably wasn't super popular yet.
Yeah.
When did the X-Files start? September 93. Yeah, so I'm just starting to see some of the the humorous episodes. Like the first one, the first funny one they did, I think it was the circus one. And I think that's in like season 3. So I'm like, they're just kind of changing the tone here.
Yeah. Maybe I should join the FBI.
Maybe I should join the FBI. This seems interesting. And then I fall asleep in my lazy boy.
Nice. Okay.
I've got a really big TV. It's like 24 inches, 4x3. So, yeah.
It's almost too big.
It's almost too big, yeah. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it.
It's like 3 feet deep.
Right. It's deeper than it is wide.
So you have to put it in the corner of your apartment, otherwise it just doesn't... There's no room for the lazy boy.
Yeah. And when I turn it on, it's got this really loud, what is it?
It's that hissing sound, or like the hiss whine combination that the CRTs make.
It's like barely audible, but at the same time incredibly loud.
Side note, that is what I hear all the time.
Infrasound. It's like infrasound.
Just shitting your pants constantly.
Exactly. But yeah, and then I fall asleep with my lazy boy. I'll probably wake up on time though. It's no big deal.
Okay.
And I go to sleep hoping that Tim wears some clothes that make him less obviously an engineer and possibly ambiguously a member of law enforcement tomorrow.
What obvious engineering clothes do you wear, Tim?
I have...
He's got a tool belt.
I have a pocket protector.
Oh, okay. It's a short sleeve white collared shirt with a black tie and a pocket protector.
Yeah.
You look like a NASA engineer from like the 1960s.
Mm-hmm. And I have like really thick glasses.
Nice. Like big black plastic frames.
Mm-hmm. It's just look like a geek.
All right. So let's flip over to Tim. So it is like 4:45. You've been dropped off at your office building by Simon. What are you up to?
I'm going to the library.
Okay.
He looks at his bike. It's mangled.
Yeah.
Give me a luck check.
Okay. 4.
It's someone has tried to steal it, but you did lock it up. But they were kind of rough on it. And when they couldn't seal it, they slashed your tires.
Oh no.
Ooh, vengeful. Petty.
So the frame of the bike is fine, but your tires are fucked.
Well.
And it's raining.
And I see this, by the way, as I drop you off, and I look over at you
away.
and then just drive off.
He splashes you as he drives off.
I'm glad he does that.
Hey, at least it's raining in October in South Dakota. It's not already cold enough to snow.
So I may be missing it, but where the library is not on the map.
No, I don't think we ever... you're looking at my high-end map that I drew.
That's correct.
It's only got like 5 locations on it.
The only map, to my knowledge, with which I've been provided.
Well, that's pretty passive-aggressive.
I know, right?
It was also
I'm going to say that the library is...
it's actually attached to Corvidian Tech. Pretty cool.
It's south of the old police station, north of the hospital. So it's just a couple blocks north of your office.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll walk over, I guess, and then I'll just sort of mentally prepare for. Well, I guess I can probably get a taxi back home when I'm done. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So by the time you get there, it's about 5:00. The library closes in an hour. And Tim seems like the kind of guy who has a library card. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you are looking for old newspaper records involving the house. Is that correct?
No, I'm looking for Isabel Wheeler. If I find anything on the house, cool. But I'm looking up.
Isabel Wheeler. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you go to the librarian and ask her about that because you can see that you can get old newspapers by date, but if you want to go for specific subject matter, you have to talk to the librarian for them to help you out.
Okay.
And so you describe what you're looking for, and she is she's a like a young, very attractive woman. She's like a stereotypical sexy librarian.
Oh my.
Go on.
Where she has the kind of like 1950s style glasses. So anyway, you describe that you're looking for this, and she informs you that she can help you, but she's not sure. Yeah, I'll talk in her librarian voice. I can help you, but I'm not sure how much we'll get through tonight.
Well, that's fine as long as we can get a start.
All right. And she pulls out a pad of paper. She says, "You'll have to tell me exactly what you're looking for, and then I'll go find it. You can wait over there at one of the tables, and then I'll bring out the relevant materials to you."
Okay. So I'm looking for information on Isabel Wheeler.
Wheeler? Okay.
Yeah, she died in 55, but she lived in town for a while before that.
Do you know the start date?
Not off the top of my head. I have it written down somewhere, and I started fishing around in my notes that I didn't actually type up because I was gonna listen to the session later.
It started. The diary started in 1925.
1925. Okay. But I don't know if that's only you would know when they moved in.
Right. The start date, the only date that you have that isn't when she died is 1925.
Okay.
I think it's 1927. To
Oh, really? Well, whatever.
All right. We're all
give her a little couple years on the front end. That's
1920s.
Okay.
So 55 is for sure the end date, and she was in town, I guess, at least for the first, or for like a couple of decades preceding that.
So she starts clacking away on this computer in front of her. And then she scribbles down a series of numbers on her little pad of paper. And then she says, "Okay, just wait over there and I'll have something for you in a few minutes."
All right.
She winks at you.
Oh, baby. Arthur, Tim.
She says, "What kind of engineer are you? I can tell by the way you're dressed."
I deal a lot with ropes. And I wink back. And then I awkwardly walk away, spin on my heel.
You hear mutter underneath her breath, "Pervert."
She's got your number.
Yeah, and then she disappears into a back room. And you wait. There's some interesting books out here. Let's see, kind of thumb through that stuff. But in about 15 minutes, she returns. And let's see. So she comes back with a stack of newspapers. And she says, "Please be careful with these. We don't have duplicates of all of them.
Yeah, okay, got it.
And please leave them in this order. You can leave them on the table. We close," and she looks at her watch. 40 minutes. And I will collect them then.
All right, so I'll get out some note-taking materials and start going through.
Okay. So it takes a little bit of looking because the papers themselves aren't marked to indicate where exactly you need to find this information. But here is what you ascertain looking through the articles. In May of 1905, Golden River celebrated the marriage of Michael Wheeler and Isabel Knott, then Isabel Wheeler. Michael Wheeler was a self-made man. He was a young stonemason, and he prospered from contracts with governments and churches around the region. It looks like his business specifically specialized in gargoyles, marble cutting, tiles, and other monuments. And Isabel was the daughter of a wealthy landowning family in the area. And there is a wedding photo that's attached to one of the article that you get this from, and they both look, very clean cut and proper. You find something from later that year in November indicating that Isabel began to suffer from some unknown ailment that made her bedridden. Then in 1907, there's an announcement that Michael Wheeler had begun construction of a small house at Spooner Avenue. And it reiterated that Isabel was essentially an invalid by that point.
Okay.
1910, October 1910, Michael Wheeler died. During the construction of the town hall here in Golden River, a falling slab of marble struck him fatally on the head. He was survived by Isabel, and they had no children. June 1926, Isabel Wheeler made an astonishing, seemingly complete recovery from her ailment. She made a brief public appearance and attended several society functions. She was a bit of a socialite beforehand, which is why you're able to find these other articles to begin with. There were some follow-up articles to this, but she sort of dropped off the map after that. And then in August of 1956, there's an obituary for Isabel Wheeler. She lived only with a single caretaker nurse who is not named. And it looks like her longtime housemates, her previous nurse, and some unknown number of that nurse's relations moved out of her house at the same time. Or actually, shortly before. It looks like that happened in 1955.
So they moved out immediately before her death.
A year prior to her death.
A year prior. Okay.
And she left her fortune to a local hospital.
Okay. I'm curious about the recovery. I'm curious about this nurse. I'm hoping the diary can give us a name. Although, given the timeline, not that unlikely, or not that likely of her to still be alive. Okay, so probably combining this with what Simon has, we can get some leads to go off of. But really, the thing that we want to do is crack into this diary, I think, and then that'll give us, combined with this information, some good directions to head in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you are still sitting there at 6:03 when you hear a passive-aggressive cough coming from the librarian.
And you say, keep it down. I'm trying to read here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey, Toots. Do I get the sense that, like, just with the documentation that's been provided so far, does it seem like there's more digging to do, or have I basically extracted the relevant information?
I mean, you think you've gotten everything that you can from this stack of papers.
Okay.
From the Golden River Albatross.
Okay, so later,
The Albatross, love it.
No reason to come back for this stuff, but later when we have maybe a more targeted inquiries, I'll come back and see what they can dig up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will thank the young lady for her time. I'll wink again, and
She shivers in disgust.
yeah. She grimaces and draws away, and then I'll saunter out the door.
She pulls her cardigan a little more tightly around her.
Yeah.
So you leave, and now it's really raining. And
Fantastic. I'll hail a taxi.
Okay.
I don't know how many taxis there are in a town like this, but
Give me a luck check.
It's the bus system, remember? That's how you get around.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because you live right next to the university.
Well, I did get a
so
6.
There should be a bus stop nearby the library.
Right, yeah, so you walk over to the closest bus stop. And this being a smaller city, they don't even have, like, the bench at the bus stop is actually a bench you can sit on. It isn't covered in spikes or...
Right, to prevent the homeless from approaching it.
Right.
It's not installed with a taser.
Right. It zaps you every time you try to sit down. So
Yeah.
All right. I'll wait for the bus
before
patiently.
long, a bus shows up full of college students.
Hey kids, I'm like you. Move
Yeah.
over.
And and you ride all the way home.
Wow.
So we know that Simon Redding is a booze and hot pockets kind of guy in the evening. What does Tim Bars do in the evening?
And it's been a long day for you. You haven't eaten since breakfast.
Stella's, yeah.
Yeah. Although it was a hearty breakfast.
Yeah, it
But you
always
couldn't get
is.
it down, if you recall. Like it was disagreeing with
The
you.
breakfast itself was hearty, though.
Oh, that's true.
Didn't eat much.
Yeah, it just didn't do you any good, is all.
Right.
He's like he still from his college days is a big ramen noodles kind of guy.
The packets or the cups?
The packets. He hasn't upgraded to cups yet.
Okay. I don't think that's an upgrade, but...
Well, and it also it makes it easier for him to eat like way more of it if he's
Yeah.
Just a massive amount of
packet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you open 3 packets, and you add salt because you're concerned. You read that you need
Yeah, there might not be enough in those.
more electrolytes.
Yeah. And even though you're an engineer, you think that adding salt to the water makes it boil faster when it actually makes
Right.
it boil slower.
I mean, science just can't explain that.
Yeah, the sun goes up, sun comes down.
So, yeah, you eat your ramen. What flavor? Shrimp?
I mix shrimp and chicken.
That's pretty good.
Great.
That's good.
Yeah, that's tasty. Okay. And after that, I guess you go to sleep at 7:30.
Yeah, I guess I don't have any of the documentation to look at, so
You give my home phone a call, but I'm at O'Shamrocks.
yeah. I understand I got to be at the precinct at 9 tomorrow, and so I'll, do what I'll practice my French horn a little.
Okay.
Try to wind down for the night.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you do that. You play yourself something soothing.
I hear banging on the walls after a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop that
Yeah,
staccato.
You can hear
forte.
college students fucking through the walls.
Nice.
They're all having a great time. They don't know what's going on in the deep underbelly of Golden River.
Right.
Neither do you, but presumably something's going on.
Yeah, just totally untroubled. But you channel your confusion and sadness into your French horn playing.
Yeah, it definitely comes through.
Yeah. Yeah, with your aggressive staccato.
It always sounds sad, but now
Little
it's a different
blips.
kind of sad.
Yeah. And eventually you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning.
You want to call it?
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Listeners, thanks for hanging out. Tune in next time for the final episode of Golden River Underground.
Oh my god.